Hey, you have a story. Everyone's got a story. If you don't have a story, go make a story, right? Take a loss, learn from it, get yelled at, lose something, lose a girl, find another girl, have a heartbreak. That's where you learn everything, man.
We might as well just start with that because I, I seen the videos and I'm like, what? And I saw another clip of you on another podcast talking about like, yeah, somebody they're shopping the prices and they're trying to compare us to booking somebody else. There ain't no comparing what we're doing.
There,
Like,
there's no comparison to what we do compared to everyone else. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, like it all started a long time ago. Well, what was it? What are we, 25? So 2024, I had a friend of mine call me like around, I don't know, maybe October, November. And they were like, hey,
yeah,
because I do, like I've done like pizza events with her for weddings. So she called me up and she's like, hey, do you know anyone that makes cannolis? And I'm like, I know guys that own bakeries and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I make cannolis. What's up? What do you need? She's like, I need like a bunch of cannolis. I'm like, yeah. So then she sends me this video of somebody that was doing this already. And so I'm like, I'm watching. I'm at work. I'm in the middle of making pizzas. And I'm like, dude, I'll fucking do this. Are you crazy? So I'm showing like all my staff. I'm like, look at this. Somebody's doing this. I'm like, yo, we got to do this. I go, I freaking. So I call my wife up. I'm like, babe, the girl, Lauren, this and that. I'm like, she asked me if I could do this. I'm thinking about, I'm like, yo, I for sure I'll do this. She's like, really? So I'm like, yeah, give me a couple days. Let me figure it out. We'll see how it goes. Like, I wanted to come up with a price. I didn't, this was all new game to me. So I'm like,
yeah, first
let me
time
see
out. Let
what's
me
up.
make sure I can do it right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my cannolis are phenomenal. I don't make the shells, but I make the cream. My cream's fucking bomb. So she's like, I'm like, let me get you a price, this and that. I'm like, we'll get it done. She calls me. She's like, does this work? I'm like, done deal. Let's go. Whatever you need. So she booked me. This is October, November of 24. She booked me for June 25. So like, I'm like starting to build the brand up, but like had no content, had no stuff, this and that. And then I'm like, you know what?
Man.
So my wife and I had a wedding. I think it was in March, and we were going as guests. I was obviously had to work, so then I was going to come there just later at night. So I'm like, you know what? Like, we'll go there and we'll gift them. I called the bride's mother. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm starting up this company. I'm like, do you think I could gift it to you guys? I don't want to overstep anything. I go, I don't know if anyone wants it, whatever, this and that. I'm like, do you mind if we do this cannoli thing we're doing? So I call on my buddy. I'm like, you want to do this with me? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he's a very outgoing guy. And so we end up going to the wedding. My wife's there. Everyone's, whatever. Nobody knew we were coming. Like nobody. Just me, my wife, my mother-in-law,
Oh,
and the bride's mother. And nobody in Chicago is doing this still. Like we're now some guy, some bozo just started following. He's like literally going through my friends list this week and is copying and like stealing all my friends, and dude, crazy. And logos like Italian, same thing. Like it's just crazy. So I'm
no, be
working on,
original. Come on, bro.
dude, it's nuts. So and now I'm like, I'm in the process of getting everything trademarked with Pizza Boy, Cannoli Boy, all this stuff. We got a couple other things going on. So we go to do the wedding. It was like pure mayhem. I mean, we went in there, nobody even knew what was up with this. And it was just like, back in the day, I don't know about you, but I used to be in the clubs all the time. So when we used to go to the clubs, the
Yep,
bars,
yep.
everything, like me and my friends, we would take over clubs and just boom, we're in. And when we came into that first wedding, I mean, we took over what was going on. It was just chaos and everyone loved it. It was fun. You got girls, guys, even all the groomsmen, because they're fun. Everyone's all fucked up. They're like, give it to me, and they're screaming. So it's just a blast. So to me, when I used to promote downtown at the
Oh, it looks
clubs,
like so much fun.
I'm like, dude, this is like back to being back in the day. You go out, you drink on the way down there, you're loose, you have a little, you're rolling a little bit, and then you go in there and we take over the room and then we're out of there. We don't stay, we don't drink. We'll go
Nah,
out after or something, so it's fun. But it's we're
man,
booked.
that's
I
it.
I'm
It looks
literally,
so fun. I saw the videos. Like,
but it's crazy.
no,
Yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
I'm I'm booked rest of the year with multiple every weekend, and we're booked basically all of 26. I have at least 60 weddings right
How
now. And
crazy is that for something to just come up like that and then turn into to straight gold?
I
That shit is
mean,
gold.
you know what it's gold, and here's the deal with like, everyone wants to always do something or try to make a dollar, and that's fine. But if you're not all in, you're not gonna get that same vibe. You know what I'm saying? When I took it all, when I came up with the company and kind of running with my same branding, my brand speaks for itself. I mean, I have people, they come to my
Right.
restaurant and they're like, "Oh, I don't really support franchises." I'm like, "Well, you're in luck because I'm not a franchise and I'm one store." But the way I branded my business, people think we're that
It's
big. You know
professional.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the same thing with Cannoli Boy. I mean, I'm all in. I'm all, we come in, we take over, and obviously, so a little off subject, I started my own media company, media, marketing, branding, all that stuff, because I'm good at it.
Right.
So I and my partner, we work together, we do all this stuff, we help people do it. We have, bunch of clients. And so we kind of like do all this stuff with everyone and for everyone. And that was like, I got kind of tired of everyone copying all the pizza stuff that I was doing when I was doing, dude, I was doing videos 15 years ago on Instagram, 10 years ago on Instagram, when nobody was doing video, nobody was doing any content. Oh, we got to bless it, maron, this, that. I mean, my tables at the restaurant have all the sayings that I used to say when I used to do like whole skits all day. When I would do like, because I started doing Detroit style in my dad's place, and nobody was doing Detroit style in Chicago at the time. So like when I was doing it, it was
Right.
such a big deal. We were selling like, we would only do it during lunchtime, and not to get off subject, whatever, but so we only did it during lunchtime, and we would do it, and it was so huge that like, but that's why I ended up starting a media company because everyone would start to copy everything I was doing. So I wanted to do it not like normal content, but more professional content where we're in your
Yeah.
face, bringing, you know, professional look, but also, uh, calculated look. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's kind of what, back to Cannoli Boy, you know, we're all in. My guys come with me to the events. My team comes. We just take over the room. Everyone loves it. It's honestly a blast. Like it's like going downtown for me in Chicago, like that all over again. And then, when you're done, you go home or we could go out. Like we'll go out, we'll go get a drink. Well, I mean, my wife will be out. We'll go somewhere, whatever. Next week, my wife, or this weekend, my wife's hosting a Bad Moms party. So, the movie Bad Moms. So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
wife's
Yeah.
hosting this party, and it's like for all I mean, she sold like 150 tickets to women. So we did it last year,
Yeah.
and then they do like a sexy Santa. So like everyone comes on, and then, after the girls like do their whole thing, then they have a sexy Santa contest, and you go dance. So I ended up, we did it last year, and so that was like a real big deal. I mean, she had like, I don't know, like 80 tickets sold. Every year it's gone bigger. So this year she's got like 150 tickets already sold. So now, I mean, you got like, this is a guy's dream for any single guys or anyone. You go. So we're gonna do Cannoli Boy there, and then we're gonna do Sexy Santa contest. So it's gonna be
Oh, that's
fun.
dope.
Yeah,
It's a
you
lot of
gotta have
fun, and
fun,
I
man.
mean, to be able to have that much fun and still, run a business and have a product that's so good. I'm looking at it like it looked like these people getting drunk. Like there's got to be something in the damn cannoli cream. Look like they getting drunk on the cannoli cream.
By the time you get there, everyone's done. So if you're not in that and you don't have that personality, like to mingle with them, you're done for.
You can't even do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't even do it.
Like you have to have that
It's hard to
personality
copy. You gotta have the right you gotta be the right person to do that.
for
You
sure.
anybody can't just copy that whole style.
No. And that's the
So,
thing. Like
shout
when
out to
we
you for doing
so
that.
thank you. When this guy he's copying, like, listen, man, like when we tell people, I mean, literally, if we go to a bar after my crew, like I mean, we wear deep V-necks. We're sometimes we did an event this weekend. We're wearing bow ties, black button trim shirt. Everyone, this look is exactly what people want. They don't want like fat guys, skinny guys. They want muscles, meathead, Italian. It's like my wife,
It's the show.
it is, it's a show. It's so like we had a client, they called us up and they're like, they don't want us to bring in extra food. I go, well, you're in luck because this is entertainment. This is not food. The canola, this is strictly after dinner entertainment. It has nothing to do
Yeah.
with the cannoli, literally. Like we'll go to a
It's
bar
just
and
about the
and
fun.
people, yeah, and like I tell people, the the main thing with like getting married, whatever, you good place. You got to have a good place where you go where you get married. The DJ or band is very important, and then obviously your bride. But cannoli boy is like that third piece that just brings your wedding from like here to like here, like legit. Because you're sitting there, everyone's having fun, it's great, this and that. And then like it's party mode. We get there like 9, 10 o'clock. And then everyone's kind of
Yeah.
like either leaving or they start dancing and now they're going back to the tables. We come in and then everyone's back to the dance floor and then it's like reignited throughout the whole wedding. So like we'll
Yeah,
start
and
in
you
the
never
middle and
forget that.
no, never. I mean, it's crazy, but it's a blast. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like literally when we leave, the bride and groom come up to us because we do like a whole how was your cannoli boy experience, this and that, and literally they'll come up to us off camera and they'll be like, I mean, you just made our wedding complete. Like it just brought it
To the
to like
next level.
boom. Yeah. And it's like and it's funny because
Love
like
that.
it's not even like, everyone could have it. Like oh, like we had one girl, she was like, "Oh, my friends did it last week and I didn't want to have it too." Dude, who cares? People love it. It's just it's just chaos. I mean, it's not chaos. It's just a like a it's just fun. I mean, it's like bottle
Is
service
it
back in the day.
better as like the surprise element, or is it to the point now where they start to like tell people, hey, look, make sure you stay because cannoli boys are showing up, or
No, nobody
is
knows.
it
Like
still
so
better to
like
be a surprise?
yeah, it's a surprise because when we get there, I talk to the DJs typically. So like some people do know, but like most people don't even know that we're gonna be there. So then when they
Yeah,
see
yeah.
us, because I literally wear this deep V-neck, and like we come in there, so we basically look like strippers when we walk in. So like we're all matching, we're all in black. Like people don't even know what we're doing there. And then we load up with the big cannoli box and like we're loading up the cannolis and we're loud, we're having fun, this and that. And just people are like, dude, and so that people that are leaving will end up staying just to watch. We're like, you guys leaving? You're gonna miss the show. You gotta come back. And they'll literally stay and come and be a part of what we're doing. It's crazy. I actually did a wedding last week or 2 weeks ago. It was at a country club. I was so mad. DJ had no idea we were coming. And I'm like, dude, listen, here's the deal. We come out to this music. Like we have specifics. Like this isn't just, hey, it's sloppy. Like we come out to specifics. We want people as amplified as possible. So
Yeah.
the guy comes in. He had the music blasted when we got there. We put on, I'm like, listen, we come out to this song. We do this. He puts on the song and he lowered the volume was like it was up here. The volume's like here now. I'm like, I look at
Bro,
my buddy. I'm like, what the fuck? And so we go in. Everyone's hyped and yelling and this and that. So I was like so pissed. I'm like, like, hey DJ, I'm screaming like we're at the club. Hey DJ, pull up the music. And then he cranked it back up, and it was like even more mayhem. But I was like, dude, what are you doing, man? I'm like, dude, you just ruined the entrance for us. I was so pissed, but yeah, it's fun.
You got
Most
to take
people
over
don't know we're
DJ
coming.
services too.
100%. I told that, dude, to me, good food or hall, a DJ, and cannoli boy are the three experiences that anyone needs at a wedding. 100%. And late night food, because then you could call me to do your pizzas. So, and then we do everything else too.
Full
Beef
circle. We do the
sandwiches,
whole
all that
thing.
stuff. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and film it for you with the media company. We
Yeah,
got the whole
for
thing.
sure. Percent. You know what's funny? We tried my wife, she's become like my wife helped me on the weekends at the pizza place. She helps me all the time on the weekends, like at the pizza place. She books parties, she does all this stuff. But with the cannoli boy, she's turned into like a full-blown secretary now with this whole thing. I mean, it's calls, calls, calls all week, all the time. I mean, literally, we're basically booked out 2020. I can't take more clients
Beautiful.
because so like now I have guys there wanting to do it. So now we're doing like 3, 4 events same night. So we'll meet at my house. I'll have everybody's boxes loaded up, cannoli shells, cream, all the stuff. You guys go here, you guys go here. I'm going with this guy here, and then you go with that one here. I mean, we're like the Avengers, boom, go. Crazy.
It's turning into a whole franchise.
Yeah, we're hoping. We're looking into it. I have a buddy of mine I'm talking to, see if we could bring it to New York a little bit.
Will be
So
fun. Any party town, any event, any venue that makes it better. And when you enhance
100%
people's experiences, man, they remember that shit forever. They
forever.
like, and you know how it is. Like, and you just said you got your wife got the group and the moms. Once one of them see it and it's good, everybody they're all
It-
gonna do it.
Always. It's the same thing like pizza, man. If you bring that type of vibe and you bring that experience and you bring that expertise of the food and you love and eat, sleep, and breathe your product, they will tell. And I don't do any advertising. I don't paid ads. I don't nothing. It's all word of mouth. My dad's place was like that. My place is like that. I mean, obviously I do social media and I don't like whatever, but it just you know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
You gotta be obsessed. So
Take me back to working at your dad's place because I mean that's a whole story in itself. We talk about a place that's been around for generations at this point.
for sure.
How
I
did
mean,
how did that influence who you are and what you do now?
so you know, obviously my father started his business basically, I mean, we're at like 45 years now. I mean, he took over an existing pizza place. So my dad was in the military, did his thing. Before military, he ran his godfather's place, his father's place. Then he went to military, came back, same thing. Pizza. He ended up running a taco place called Taco Fiesta, and just was in the food business forever. He was kind of, we look at him like Steven Seagal in the Marines. So not the Navy SEALs. He was like the Steven Seagal dude. So we had it. My father was hard Marine, just rolling, working every single day. He did it. I watched him. I used to go with him shopping every day at Caputo's and going to the stores and picking up stuff and all that stuff. On weekends, we would go help my dad. During the week, we would help my dad, my parents before they got divorced. We would all go there with my mom once, my mom helped my dad. We would go there with my mom. When my parents got divorced, my mom wasn't working there anymore. As we got older, obviously we were like, cheap labor or no pay, but we were like 12
Yeah.
years old, 10 years old, you're kids. But I'm sitting there on the phone, little kid, little boy, Bertolli's. Well, thank you, honey. Appreciate you, little girl. I'm like, I'm a boy. I'm like laughing because they think, you're a little kid. So you sound like a little girl. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's funny because, that's all we knew. So growing up in the business, I loved it. I was obsessed with it. That's why, like, every growing up as a kid, if I went to work or went to go help my dad or just see my dad, like, that we just love going there. And I would make pizza for the next day for school for lunch. So I was like, my dad would help me make like I'd make like I love football. I played football my whole life. Like I would make like a football shaped pizza, basketball shaped pizza, like all these crazy things. And so I would cut them up and then I'd bring like pizza for my friends. I'd bring like a huge 18-inch pizza and then or like
Oh, you the man.
five. Yeah. So like I'm feeding everyone. So that's where I kind of got the name of Pizza Boy. And then, you know, instant messenger came out and I I had my you're getting into your teens, whatever. So my AI or AIM, whatever, instant messenger thing was Pizza Boy 6969. So everyone, it was that whole 69 deal. So and then I just kind of, grew up into it. There was times when like I had a lot of friends, I played sports. There was times where you didn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I hated it at times. So I'd go with my dad. Like my sister would be going to work, and I'd have to go, and they're calling me, and I'm hiding at my buddy's house, and they couldn't get a hold of me, and then my sister had to just leave without me because I wanted to hang out with my friends and stuff like that. So there was the pros and cons. That you love it, and then you hate it because it's the weekends, and people don't understand that. Like, hey man, I
Yeah.
could work Monday through Thursday. Yeah, great, cool. Go to the library.
Let me
Sorry, buddy.
let me work 11 to 5 Monday to Thursday. Let me get
Yeah,
those bank
sorry.
hours.
Yeah, no, I ain't working here. So, and then long story short, or long story long, as high school came, I played football, wrestling, softball, all the sports, whatever, lifting. I then started getting more, I was working every weekend, stuff like that. And then I got more and more invested in helping my dad going into high school, into college. I went to college, did 2 years. I was working 6 days a week. I'd have one day off all through college. And then I was promoting at the club. So like I was like working at my dad's. I'd have my brother come later to let me go so I could go leave work to shower, to go to the club, to part. And, but like, like that's what we did. We worked till 6, we worked all day, party till 4 or 5 in the morning. And then we were back ready to roll the next day to go to the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, worked out, went to work, did all the stuff we had to do. Like, dude, these kids can't even compare to do any of that. Not even one thing of those. Their days are screwed after that. It's crazy. So
I think the phones and all that shit just
it's crazy because we met off social media. It's a great benefit and a great tool for so many people to get so much out of it. And like, but it's such a devil in disguise. I mean, it's like it's ruined everybody. And they don't have to go anywhere. Like, Fridays, I mean Fridays are slam, but like Fridays were totally different come way back when. I mean, I don't know, like for us, anytime the Bulls played back in the 90s, every
it was
single
gonna be
time, and I
crazy.
was a kid, like I was just there. Bro, every single time the Bulls played, it was chaos. Like we're talking about during the week. That's how crazy how life used to be then. Like now, even like now, like when like right now we're getting the boom of the Bears. So, but it wasn't like that. Like it's not the same as it used to be back in the day. I mean, there isn't an old school pizza guy in Chicago that would not tell you when the Bulls played back in the 90s, it was chaos every single game. Every single game. I'll
To
never
be
forget.
great. That
I
had
used
to
to
be
work with
great.
my cousin and my dad, and I was just there because I loved it. And we used to like, you had the antenna TVs. So we'd have a little TV in the kitchen, and you got the antennas, and you're moving, and you're boom, 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 trying to get the TV to. We never had cable, so we're trying to get the game on, and like trying to watch it get because we wanted to see it too, but we're working like crazy, so it was like nuts. But I mean, the business has changed so much, and I'm glad I grew up in what I grew up in to now see where it's at, and it's helped me become where I'm like I consider myself the king of like where I'm at already in 5 short years, and I put a big imprint in the northwest side of like Chicago suburbs here in such a short time. And that's my opinion. I really don't care what anyone says about it because I
Don't
don't
matter.
have this business. Dude, I've been in this business. I do more business than my dad does in from day one. That took it took me 5 years to get my dad at that point after like my dad was in business for 35 years till I really like 30, even 30 years. I got my dad to where he's at by social media, getting on different stuff,
Hmm.
really pushing it and taking it to the new level, another level, and working like crazy and stuff like that. And we got him to that point where he wasn't even doing that. And I did that from day one of my opening my own place and going on my own. I mean, it's just crazy. So, and there's a lot of pizza places around here. So, there's a really big entrepreneur, restaurateur gentleman that's in the Chicago area. And I mean, I have nothing but respect for him. And he praises me all the time. He goes, in a saturated market that there's a ton of pizza places. You came in here with like no worry in the world. Dude, I'm going there and I'm gonna freaking dominate. And I came in from day one and I dominated. And it was just crazy. But real quick, back to that whole situation, you know, I worked for my father, did it. My brother and I, we killed it. We would do it we worked. Like my dad didn't have to work. And we kind of let him, that was the whole goal. Like if I missed, my dad had to work. If my brother missed, like my dad had to work. You know what I'm saying? So we were there all the time.
But we don't want to. Pops to work. We got
Yeah,
this.
to be honest with you, we didn't want him and we didn't want to get yelled at all day. So it was like, you know, that's what these kids don't understand now. Like, you don't want me to yell at you? Then work harder. I didn't want to hear it, so I worked harder. You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole thing for me. We got
That's a
his
whole
place.
other thing, man. Getting kids to work.
It's crazy. You know what? I blame a lot of the parents all because these parents baby their kids and oh my son, oh he's got a burn, oh you yelled at him. Shut up. I go, are you kidding me? This is why your son's weak and this is why you don't have control of your own home. No offense. Because you're worrying about something that nobody worried about before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Dude,
I'm
and
old
it's
school,
a
man.
different time now. I had a store. We took over a store, and it was like we bought a store that was existing. And the first week I was there, there's like $600 missing in
Yeah.
cash,
Oh wow.
and I can't figure out who it is. I fired every fucking body on the team. I fired
Hell
up.
yeah.
No, nobody works here
And you
anymore.
even
Then all
expect that? You got to go in
no, like
almost like you think, oh, hey, yeah, I'm going to buy this place. It's going to be smooth sailing. Dude, everyone will quit. When my dad bought his place, his main two guys that were there, then when he took over the place, they quit on him. They didn't want to work for him because people, they're vindictive. They don't care. No loyalty.
yeah. So they stealing money. Nobody knows what happened. All right, nobody works here. If you want to work here, put an application in. And then
Yeah.
you start seeing who the soft ones were. Somebody's mom wants to, what happened to my son? Like I don't know. What does your son know about my money?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
so I get it. And it's a totally different time now. You gotta do everything like you gotta baby these kids. And it
It's
drives me
crazy.
crazy. I'd rather
It does.
do it by myself.
And that's the thing. That's why, like, I want to open, I have people that have, I mean, from day one, I've had all over the United States, like guys calling me from just the impact that we did opening our restaurant. They're just all over social media. And like that time, 5 years ago, social media was a lot better place where it is now. I think people are kind of tired of social media. I'm a little bit tired of it because it's so much politics and bullshit instead of just people should just start posting pictures again and be like, hey man, life's good, not fake and bullshit and this and that. It's crazy.
That's a problem. There's so much bullshit on. So it's so
Yeah.
fake.
Dude, and everyone's pushing AI and this and that. Just, you know, it's great, but at the same time, you think it's taking away from your true character and like all that stuff. Like be who you are, be somebody, be a character, be whatever. You know, everybody's just I say, you a jag? And they go, what? And they think I'm calling them like a jag off. I go, are you a jag? No, what? I'm like, just a guy.
Guy, you
I
just a
ain't your
guy.
guy. I go, I'm King Kong. This what we do here. You wanna roll with the big boys, you gotta play with the big boys. You gotta come up. We're not just guys here working and doing the tiniest little job. I don't work like that. So, yeah, it sucks, but you get some kids that love it, you get some kids that hate it. The good ones, they don't, you know, people don't really have a passion to like wanting to do this business because, like parents. I have my own personal experience, not with mine, but with others that look down at me like I'm some peon, just pizza guy. Like I'm a peon pizza guy that I made a name for myself. I ain't a lawyer, I ain't a this and that, a doctor. I'm just a pizza guy, but I did very well for myself and I'm still continuing to keep growing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And it's those kind of things is what makes you thrive and want to, because people don't understand how much that you're, especially in, like, the surrounding areas and your customers, and you're looked at like an icon a little bit sometimes. And like people praise you, they love you. Like
Absolutely.
you, it's if you're not that type of person and you don't like thrive off of that responsibility, because it's a responsibility. It's not like, hey, people love me, but I'm just going to be a piece of shit and like two-time people and this and that. Dude, you got to be on a straight air. I tell people all the time, it's all about good business. If you don't do good business, you don't have any business. You two-time people, you do shady shit, it's coming back to you one way or another, man.
Absolutely. And if you're, the and I don't want to say not small time, but if you're the independent, you gotta do it right. And you gotta be a stand-up guy because there's too many options out there
For
for
sure.
folks. Like if people don't want just a pizza. If they just want a pizza, they go pay $5 and get that shit from the $5 pizza shop. You know what I mean?
100%.
But if they want to support you and they want to get to know who you are and you're in your community, dude, you got to be a stand-up guy because people gonna
For
remember that
sure.
I've
You
been
got to
I've been
help
in
the
this community for
community.
22 years. Yeah, they know
You got
like
to help the
not they
community,
know
help the
me.
police officers, the
Yeah,
schools, firemen, all that stuff. That plays such a role to your business, your product, teachers, blue collar. This is who we're talking to. Patients, they're still the same people, even though there's a lot more obstacles to get through to get to these people. At the end of the day, you know, it's all about good business. And I tell this to everyone, like, you know, a lot of times, even with family, if you don't, if you do bad business with family member or somebody two times you, what kind of business you have with a family member? You ain't got business. So why is it if a friend does it to you, you're no longer friends? But if a family member does it to you, it's my, this and that. No, no. Listen, here you go. We're arm's reach. I love you, but it ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? I look at
yeah,
everything in my life. I mean, I'm sure you do the same. Your kids, your family, your immediate family. If I'm not going to do good business with you and I couldn't run or own a business with you, we got no business.
yeah.
And that's how,
Don't even go down that road because
no,
I don't want to sour a relationship over business. Like
for sure.
if
Because
that's not what you do, if that's
it's
not
going to
what you
go
want, then
bad
we
anyways.
yeah.
There,
And
it's
and and I hate people that say, "Oh, you can't be partners. You can't do this with you can do it with your family if everything's on the up and up and people do
I
things the
say
right
that
way."
all the
Man, me,
time.
me and my bro,
You're
we've been
100%
rocking
right.
for years, and it's because we always kept it real with each other, and we always work hard. Like he's good at what he's good at, I'm good at what I'm good at. And have we fought? Of course we fought, and we
Of
got
course.
into it or like
So my
whatever. But
brother and
that's
I have been
but
on, we've been on the ground rolling around with my siblings in the middle of the restaurant. But at the end of the day, I still love my brother. It's just it's like any kitchen. It's chaos and there's things said, things done, this and that.
yeah.
You're still family at the end of the day. It's all about communication and good
And I know
business
I could count on him. I know I can
for
count on
sure.
him no matter what. Even if
Because
he
no
mad at
matter
me
what,
about something, he gonna take care of that business, and I'm gonna take care of that business. So we know we can count on each other. So that
for
was
sure,
that was so
you
important.
got
Like we
his
did it
back,
together
he's
for
got
so
your
long.
back. You
Oh
got, and
yeah, man,
he's
that's just the way it
you guys
rolls.
still working together?
We sold the shop in July.
Hmm.
He moved back up to Pennsylvania. he's got a great
Nice.
dude. He's about to run a Chick-fil-A. He's got a great opportunity.
Oh,
So like
beautiful.
I'm like, you gotta go. So I'm looking
For
for
sure.
another shop now, but it's gonna be weird to not do it with my bro. He ain't even my blood brother, but we just been like best
Yeah.
friends, roommates,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
brothers for forever. And we could fight in the shop and then have Thanksgiving dinner the next day and be like it
100%.
ain't nothing. So like it's gonna be weird
And
doing it
that's
without
and
him, but that's what we on right now.
for sure. And that's what makes it special, right? That's what
Yeah.
makes everything kind of roll. Like when you can count on somebody that has your back just as much as you have theirs all the time, dude, that's nothing but love. And then you feel like you could conquer the world. You
Yeah.
could take on 20 shops. You could take on other stuff because no matter what, you guys can work together. You'll figure it out, right? Fuck it, I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
More times than anything, that's all we had to do was like, all right, how we gonna figure this shit out? And
Hmm.
it wasn't always right. Sometimes, I mean, we made plenty of
And you're
mistakes.
still learning. Hell yeah,
Yeah, but we figured it out and we moved on. And man, we have been incredibly successful for all that time that we had these shops.
for
And I'm
sure.
I'm proud of that because for the longest time it was funny because people on the outside don't really understand what it's like to be a business owner and
Hmm.
do this. Like my grandma in Michigan, she used to for years, and I wasn't very active on social media in the early days. She would always be like, "When you gonna get a real job? When you gonna get a real
Yeah.
job?" And here I
You
am, I
see what
own
I'm but isn't
multiple
that funny
stores at
though?
this point. When you gonna get a real job? I'm like, I give jobs now, Graham. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But there was no respect. But then once you start posting and it looks all pretty
And they
and the
see
people
it
liking it and sharing, then it's like, oh my grandson, my grandson. She's like the first person to comment on every post now. But
for
like
sure.
before, it was like nothing against my grandma. She just didn't
Yeah.
understand it that way.
No,
And a
100%.
lot of people don't. But you can do very well for yourself if you know you can be committed to something
For
and
sure.
put that work in and be a good dude.
Listen, if you're not obsessed about anything or just care about it that much, you should not do it. Just go be a 9 to 5 and work for somebody that's obsessed. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you have to be commit and there's nothing wrong with that. But those little pieces are the vision to the big piece of the obsession and the caring and everything else for somebody else. Because for me, anything I do, anything I touch, I'm not just doing it like I I tell people all the time, mediocrity doesn't that word does not even exist in my vocabulary. I don't talk about, listen, I feel bad for people that have like anxiety and depression and this and that. But I don't even to me, when you speak those words, you're putting that into your head more than you even realize. So you're
Oh yeah.
using that
Oh yeah.
like you might not even have it, but you're putting it in your body so much that you're speaking it into existence. If you go to the gym and you dominate and you forget about that stuff because you're so mentally strong. It's the same thing with work. I thrive off of chaos. I mean, that literally, I thrive off of chaos. The more busier, the crazier it gets. I just thrive off of it. It's a gift that I've been given. But if you
Yeah.
can't handle that, and then you know you start pointing fingers at everyone else, it's not for you. It's not for you. It's like a bartender at the busiest club in a city. If you can't do that,
Like how are you even smiling right now with all these people screaming at you, but you just living
seriously,
it. Like this is
yeah.
nothing.
And you don't you there's no thinking. The more you think, I tell people all the time, like especially kids that work for me, when you start using this, you're done. And it's not in the sense like you got to always think to do how to do your job. But when you start getting in your brain like, oh, I gotta, oh man, I got yelled at. Oh man, I
Tickets
did this.
piled up and this and that.
Yeah, like, and you start, all you're doing is just putting cancer in your body where you cannot you can't come out of it. So you put your head down, and they don't know how to pick it up. And I tell them, if I'm yelling at you or I'm pushing you or I'm telling you, it doesn't mean to go down. It means to come up. Like you ever see the one video where the kids they're playing basketball and the one kid goes up to the other kid. I think he missed a shot and the guy goes and the kid he puts his head up. I mean that is life. Put your head up.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're gonna dominate this game and we're gonna win. And that like that it's such a
You gotta have that. You gotta have
Like
that,
most
and
people,
I love teams like that.
me too. Dude, it's all about teamwork. It's all about and communication. You're the continuation of the next man up. So if I step away from making a pizza and you see 5 tickets there, yo, hey, tell me or just start making a pizza. Call me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just sit there
Mhm.
and wait. Oh man. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not
Step in,
like
step up.
it's you got pizzas coming in the oven and they're sitting at the cutting table. Well, are they going to cut themselves? Get cutting. Let's go. I don't know how to cut. That's how you figure it out. You got to figure it out
Mhm.
some way or another. Those are the best way. I have a driver. People love him. This guy literally taught himself. Like I didn't teach him like one on one. He literally taught himself how to do almost all the jobs in my kitchen because he watches. He sits there, he sees every day, he helps us every day, and he taught himself how to do everything. And he does like, sometimes it's not the best, but it's a helping hand. And I try to tell people that. Don't let him do your job. Do your job, but no, he's there to help step in if you have to do something else. So you shouldn't freak out because he's got you as long as he's there. If he's not there, you got to work harder. You got to step up. So you know, it's just tough.
And
It's
then
not like
go
a
help him
what
do his job sometimes.
for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, absolutely. I lost a guy one time and he got mad because the same driver doesn't bag up his stuff sometimes. And so he goes, "I'm not doing it." And I go, "Dude, he helps you do your stuff all the time." I go, "Technically, because that's one of my favorite things with work. You know, the lazies find their own as time goes by, they kind of get their own lazy habits. And you don't really see it because jobs still getting done. But then when it comes down to it and things are heated or a job's not done on the right time, it exposes it. So now I go to the guy, hey man, bag up all his stuff because he needs it all in order. Otherwise he's wasting time and I need him out of here. No, tell him to do it. I'm busy. No, no, no. I go, you stop doing it because I had him do it because he's good at what he does. So you stop doing that. We originally were doing that. You need to get back to doing that. No, no, no. And he's getting all pissed. I'm like, listen, man, obviously you're not understanding what I'm saying. Either do it or get the fuck out. Like, that's it. You made your own lazy way. You stop what we do. And then you think that I'm going to accept this? I don't think so. And so I told him, beat it. But it's just like, that's one thing that, sometimes you gotta reschool people because they form these bad habits and it's hard to get out of a bad habit. And then when you try to correct the situation, it's either turns into a bigger problem because now, well, no, you told me that. No, 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 no.
Well,
I
that's
don't
not
even
my
teach
job.
people that
That's
now.
not what I've been doing. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like, they'll tell you showed them that, but I never showed you that. You made that in your head because you got lazy. And now I'm recorrecting it to get back to where we were, and now you don't like it. So they either step up or step out. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, but that's the
Unfortunately,
nature of the
that's
business.
just the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes
So
sometimes.
yeah, but you know, I've been in the business, not to go back and all this stuff, but I've been in the business for a long time. I ran my dad's place for 25 years, and with my brother, my sister, my other brother, my younger sister, and my dad. I work with my dad all the time and just doing that stuff. And I wouldn't be the man I am today if I didn't learn from my father. But unfortunately, it just wasn't really, wasn't working out for us. Just a way there was too many mouths to feed. I was a visionary of where we were going. My dad really didn't want to grow. And, you know, I was implementing new things and changing things and stuff like that to where, you know, I took what he did and I changed it to a newer school of, I love old school. The old school is the best school. So it wasn't like I was changing things to be like a new vision of my father's. I was changing it to be, to bring it to a higher level.
The
You know what I'm
evolution
saying?
of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, and it just wasn't working out. And, I would look for places. My dad and I would go see places and we would potentially buy it because to my dad, it was always, we can never start from zero. We can never find, just open up a new one because my dad bought an existing one and it was just never attainable. So if we were looking, it was always to go buy a place that was already existing. And I used to tell my dad all the time, I'm like, dude, we've been in business for 30 years. How can we built a name? Like we're a wholesome like name. And when I really took over, I mainstreamed my father's name. Like nobody knew about I talked about, I mean, for my whole life, I always talked about it. But like when I like really went into it, like everyone knew me, Pizza Boy, but like Bertolli's, Bertolli's, Bertolli's. And I would talk, come see me, come get pizza, man, come get pizza. I would promote at the clubs and I'd bring pizza for the whole staff that worked at the club and all the bar backs and everybody. Just it was pizza all the
Just
time. I
pumping
did a
it.
lot of other
Yeah.
stuff, but I eat, sleep, and breathe pizza. And so when we did all this and it just wasn't whatever, and then we got on the best thing I ever ate with Jeff Morrow. He's a good friend of ours, and we did that and on the cooking channel, and that was kind of like the first thing that really set the tone of where we were going and my goals for what we were doing and the social media I was doing. And finally getting, when they call me from the best thing I ever ate, I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody, because we were always like the best kept secret where we were, where my father's place is in River Forest, because they're still doing it. And so when they call me, I'm at work. I'm like, dude, what? They're like, yeah, we're from the show, this and that. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, send me an email. I don't believe you guys. So they send me an email. I'm like, oh shit, this is the real. So and like Jeff didn't tell me, so like I had no idea what was going on. So we end up doing it, and then my wife was supposed to do it. Then kind of like my dad kind of shunned her out of being in it and all this stuff. Nobody wanted to do the video, and like I was the face, even though I wasn't the
Hmm.
face, but I was the face. Like I tell kids that work for me, be the I don't care if you show me, hey man, I'm Pizza Boy, I'm all about Pizza Boy. Same thing with Cannoli Boy. I eat, sleep, and breathe Cannoli Boy, Pizza Boy. Dude, the more the merrier. The more we can do, the more I'll push. I'll open up another. You can handle it? Bro, I'll open up another one tomorrow as long as you could do what I could do. You don't have to do what I could do. We'll get high guys to help in the kitchen, but you have to know exactly what to do if there's a problem, how to be in, step into any position, handle everything if it's crazy, whatever. So, and I took it like it was my place. I mean, legit. That was I didn't do it as a job. I did it as my life. And when we did it and we got on that and then we ended up shortly after that, we end up getting my wife ends up applying for a reality show. So we were on the show called Smothered on TLC.
I saw
So we were
that.
on there for 5 years and we were the only family that was on all 5 seasons. So that was another thing. Like my family didn't want to be involved in it and they wanted to film it. I personally think TLC wanted that show because, you know, it's just my opinion. I don't know, Cake Boss, Pizza Boy, whatever, and like all that. His name's Carlo, my name's Carlo, family, Italian, big city, all that stuff. That's just
Big
my take on it.
personalities. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's entertainment. It's good.
for sure. So, because we got on, it took like a year to really get like fully like the show rolling. And so then when we did it, my dad didn't even want the restaurant on. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? I'm like,
This is blow the
this
restaurant up.
this is crazy. So we end up shooting the first day. I end up signing the release. I told my dad, I'm like, I don't care. I'm signing the release, man. I go, I'm not missing this opportunity. And then they kind of like, they're like, well, we didn't really plan on going there anymore. I'm like, well, this is my life because we told them they couldn't come there. And so I'm like, this is my life. You guys, I need you guys to come there. Like, we're very invested in, like, we're very involved in the restaurant. I'm there. My wife's there. It's a big part of our life. You have to come now. And so they didn't really do much with it that year. We actually did a scene with my dad one time. They didn't air it. And it was hilarious because my dad, my dad's great. And like he wants to act like he doesn't want to do stuff, but like under the lights or like me, like under the pressure, boom.
Turn them on.
So we're sitting there and me, my wife, my dad, we're sitting there and we're talking and we're just, going with the flow and just what we talk about at work. And my dad just starts spilling the beans on all this other stuff. I'm like, dude, what are you saying right now? Like, I don't need all my business out there. I give him enough not to. I'm like, shut up. So the whole thing was funny. All the camera crews are like, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah, you're not putting this on. I go, get out of here. And it was just the whole thing was funny, dude. It was hilarious. So we end up getting on for that, this and that, and then you know, uh, that coming year in 2019, I had a bunch of goals for myself. One of them was to get in Pizza Today and Pizza PMQ, whatever, in one of the pizza magazines. These guys, you got to be connected. No offense to anyone, but it's a politics game, I guess, because they still don't pick people for that actually work hard and do business. It's who they like or who they feel, in my opinion. It's kind of
Who
crazy
you
because
know?
there's so many. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because there's so many people that I've talked to that deserve to be on the cover, deserve to be on or in it, and do a story about them because that's we work hard, man. We work harder than most people, and you wear 20 hats. Nobody understands that. You miss out on every. So getting publicized in a magazine like that, especially in our industry, is like, man, I did
It's a lot
something.
of
I
pride
finally
in that.
made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always
And it
wanted to
and
be
it
in there. Just
justifies all the work, like, yeah, when your family
100%.
sees it, like,
You
"All
see
right,
the
daddy,
same
maybe
guys on
maybe
there
this."
all the time. Makes no sense, right?
We
I
know
don't
what
know.
happens. I know why.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
why. You
So
know why.
yeah. But at the end of the day, that was one of my goals. I end up getting an email that they wanted to do a special on my Detroit because I started doing the Detroit and it was huge. Like I was selling like 80 to 100 slices a day in our deli that my dad owns in the deli strictly by the slice. We didn't even offer it in our pizza place. It was only, I called it Thick Thursdays and Slice Saturdays. So I would do these whole skits on those days during lunch in our deli because I worked Thursday morning and I worked Thursday morning, like to lunchtime. So then I would be those were the only night times I worked 7 days a week. So at nighttime, it was the only time I could spend it with my kids and my family was Thursday night and Saturday night. And my kids were young, like babies. So they were in bed early. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I never saw my family. And like we were talking about earlier, when your place is far, it's not easy to just go home
Just
and say,
it's just more time away, yeah.
yeah. So like now my place is close. I run in, I run out. Hey, what's up? What are we doing? I'll eat dinner. I say hi to the kids. How was school? Pick them up. A little bit different. I see my kids now more with my own place and I work more hours than I did working for my father. And I had kids. I missed out on everything and it sucked, but whatever. So I wanted to get in one of the magazine. That was one of my goals for 2020. And I wanted to get on Barstool. Kind of happened, but not with Portnoy. And our third one was finally convince my dad to open up another place. And so, yeah, the beginning of December, Pizza Today calls me and they go, "Hey, we want to do." I think it was Pizza Today, and one of the magazines they call me. They want to do a special. I'm like, "Oh, awesome!" I called on my dad. I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna get in like this and that. They want to do it on the Detroit. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Okay." My dad really didn't care. He didn't want to. I'm like, "Okay, well, I got a photographer come in, like whatever." So I'm like, you know, whatever. I'm all pumped. Like to me, this is like finally, yeah. So
Not hitting the
I,
goals.
yeah. So and this is before 2020. So I'm like, dude, this is awesome. So then we end up getting it. We end up doing the photo shoot like right before Christmas. And then they publicized it in February 2020. Well, long behold, I end up leaving January 3rd, 2020 on my dad's. So they did a whole thing on Detroit that my dad, and because I made my own take. I anything I do, anything I like, I take. I'll watch. You give me an inch, I'll take it a mile, right?
Do it your own
So
way.
yeah, so I came up with my own. I actually, but when I opened up my pizza place, I wanted to call my Detroit style completely different pizza because it's not like the standard Jets Detroit, like, more dense dough. It's more like focaccia, old Italian from where I'm from, kind of crust with the caramelized cheese, obviously. And I don't even use like the brick cheese. I use a 50/50 provolone mozz, so it's a little darker, caramelized beautifully, all that stuff. So, like I said, I do it
Yeah.
my way. I don't. So I actually had a customer that worked for my dad, and it's funny. He comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna open up a pizza place just in the next town. I'm gonna open up a Detroit style." And he's like, "Could you help me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "Good luck, whatever." I'm like, "Whatever you need, just let me know." He's like, "All right." We come over, bring me the crust. I'm like, "It's okay, whatever." I don't know. I never heard of it at the time, Detroit style. And this was like 2019, 2018, or I don't know. No, actually, it was way before that. So it was like probably 2015, maybe. I don't know, something like that. So he ends up telling me, I give him all these ingredients. I'm helping him, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Calls me up one day. He's like, "Hey, I'm not going to do it anymore." I'm like, "Oh, it's not it's a hard job, man. It's not for easy." So not that long, shortly after, I tell him, I'm like, "Hey, man, I started doing like different slices. So I started doing the thick Thursday. So originally I started with just doing our regular dough in a pan style, like a long, like
Yeah.
Sicilian pan. So I'm like, let me do this, whatever. So now I'm like, as you start doing content, your brain starts going and going. You're like, man, you thrive off of it. You start getting ideas all day. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make my own dough. So I tweaking different flours. I'm combining flours, this and that, doing different recipes, whatever. I come up with this style dough. I might call up this guy. I go, "Hey, man, do you think I could borrow your Detroit pans?" Dude, I talked to him, crickets. I'm like, this fucking guy. Like, okay,
I help
don't
you,
call
you
me
don't
back.
call me back?
Nope. We didn't even see him ordering anymore for a little bit. So, when you do bad business, that's what happens, right? And then,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
hide from it
exactly.
because they can't man up and be like, "You know what? I fucked up. You help me, I'll help you." So he stopped ordering, whatever. I end up ordering the Detroit pans. I turned my Detroit into a monstrosity at my dad's place. And, I'm by being a promoter and knowing the VIP promoting and networking. I was doing the social media, I was the networking. I made people feel special in the sense of, "Hey, man, you could get a pizza. We only got it Thursday and Saturday." It was supply and demand kind of thing. So it was huge. By the time I left my dad's, I mean, we were selling like 80 to 100 slices a day. It was crazy. Just in Detroit, I had a group text with guys that would come there for lunch, and I would send them a screenshot of like Instagram made this like template of like a sidewalk sign. And so I would type on there with the key. I screenshot it and I type on it there and I put the specials on Wednesday night and Thursday night on social media. So all the people on Instagram and then all the people in this group chat that would come there all the time would like already know what I'm doing because they would call the restaurant, "Hey, what are the
Yeah.
slices?" Because it was every day every week I would change it. Still, even in my place now, we don't have the same slices. Every day we're changing them. So we would do this. I'd sell 5, 10 pizzas before I even open because
Just from the group text and IG.
yes. So
Oh,
it
that's
was
awesome.
crazy, crazy. And how great Instagram and social media was. That's how it was. So built that up, doing it. My dad's business was always busy, but like I brought it to like corporate business, like big time, where you're doing 100 deliveries, way more pickup, 100 pickup, like just we didn't have a lot of dine-in business, but we had dine-in. So and we were a small sport. Like my place is bigger than my father's place. My place is actually like bigger, twice the size of my dad's place now because we've expanded. long story short, still the long, but it we I'm doing it, whatever. Start knocking down these goals. I'm getting into it, like whatever. I knew it's kind of I was every year, you know, higher, 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 higher. And
Yeah.
2020, we just had New Year's. It was that Friday. I came in, and at that time, my wife and I had been married for like 10 years. I'm like, you know what, dude? I haven't been on vacation since I went on my honeymoon, like legit 10 years ago. I go, my buddy, he just bought a house in Florida. He's kept asking me to come. I'm like, dude, I can't come. Like, stop asking me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go. So I talked to my dad. I'm like, dude, my dad was supposed to get carpal tunnel surgery on his hands. I'm like, when you getting it? Don't worry about it. I said, well, I worry about it because if you're not here, I'm here. And if I'm not here, that means you're working. So, and you don't have to work because I'm here. Well, we're arguing this and that, blah, 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 typical pizza place, father son duo. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm like, I'm tired of this, like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I go, you know what? This ain't working out. So I left. I go, I never miss days. Dude, I miss like, I don't know, handful of days, like legit in in 20 years. Like, yeah, I miss days. Like, when you're a kid, it's different. But other times, like, I was always at work.
Once it was your responsibility, you didn't.
Yeah, I never missed. I never went to any, my wife would go to parties, weddings, everything by herself with newborns. It was, and I missed. And so, like, whatever, it wears on you, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So we did it. I left. I never looked back. I had, you know, I had one friend, I'll never forget him. I mean, I like, we're still best friends, whatever. And he helped me. I had no money. Literally, I worked paycheck to paycheck because it's just, family business. Your whole goal is to just take it over. You're not worrying about money. You're worrying about taking over and continuing the legacy. That was my goal, straight up. I didn't worry about money. I didn't care. My bills are paid.
My time will
Well,
come.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I knew it. I knew that. Like, it never bothered me. Like, so, like, even vacationing, like, I love my life. I love what I do. I never worked a day. Like, literally, I just love what I do. So I left. My wife was like kind of freaking out. She's like, "What the fuck are we gonna do? This and that." I'm like, "I don't know. I'll figure it out." January 3rd, 2020, start the rumblings of COVID. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I'm calling people up. I wanted to be in the pizza industry, but I didn't want to like get invested. I'm like, then I'm like, I have people that I knew that I was like, I'd be I could basically run somebody's business for what I do that doesn't even do the numbers we do. So I'm like, I could go help this guy. My cousin's got a place. I'm like, I could go help him. He'd get days off. I could, whatever. And then,
Be a free agent.
this, yeah. So I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Then I was like, I'm going to open up a pizza truck. I'm going to poke, I'm going to park it at my buddy's property that was right across from Wrigley Field. I'm like, dude, this is, maybe I'll just do that and I'll do it on my own because I started the Pizza Boy brand as this was going on like all these years. And I was building my own Pizza Boy brand within Bertolli's. And like I end up going to New York because I was in a group chat with a bunch of guys and like we would always talk and like a lot of guys from all over the world and we would talk all the time, shop. And so I went to go see my buddy Rob in Long Island, my boy. So from Talio. And I went with him. I stayed with him for a week. I was helping him. He was teaching me stuff. We went around all of New York to go see all these different places. I became even closer with a lot of guys. It was a great trip, dude. I never been to New York. It was a work trip, but I had such a dude. I mean, and like that's the camaraderie and in the brotherhood that is in the pizza game. I
Hell
wouldn't
yeah.
say it's in Chicago, but in New York, it's like that. Chicago, it's not like that. It's a cutthroat. I do me. I do. I'm not like that, but that's how everyone. Growing up in this business, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and it's still like that. Like Everyone does their own thing, and that's fine. Who cares? But like, I don't compete and I don't compare to nobody. I do what I do. Anything I do, if I make a pizza that you make, dude, I do it the way I do it. It's not. It will never look like yours. It will never be yours. It's mine, and it'll taste like how I do anything. How you do anything is how you
Yeah.
do everything. So it's me. And so I went with him, had a blast. It was a great time. I mean, talk about a brotherhood with Rob. I mean, I stayed with him, his wife. They didn't even have kids at the time. I had kids, and it was like, dude, it was just awesome.
I never met Rob, but I love all his stuff, man.
But
What
he's the
a
best,
what a
best.
legit dude, man. I
We're
could
very
tell he got
similar,
that same passion and love for what he does.
dude. It's funny. Like I used to tell him all the time, like, stop worrying about these stupid champion cups and this and that and pizza competitions, bro. Just make your pizza place the best. Who gives a shit? And like, not that he was about it, but he strived for that, and which is great. Like, dude, I love it. Like, I'm telling him like a brother. And when he really committed into losing that, and he fully went into his shit, I mean, look at him. Dude, he's all over, all over.
Yeah, I
And
love it. I
I
love
got a
seeing it.
funny story with him with that too. But so we still talk all the time. And I went with him, did that, came back. My dad finally came and talked to me. Hey, you coming back? Super Bowl is that weekend. I'm like, I ain't coming back unless you change. He didn't want to change. He told me I got to change. I'm like, dude, I am not coming back. So I whatever. I just didn't know what I was doing. So I ended up trying to work at Greco and Sons to be like a salesman. They weren't hiring because of COVID. They're like, you want to drive a truck? I'm like, I don't have a CDL and I'm not looking to be a truck driver. I want to kind of, see more of the ins and outs of it, do the R&D and whatever. And, I knew a
Yeah.
lot of the guys and stuff like that. So I just, whatever. 'Cause I could sell anything. So I'm like, you know what? I'll be good at it. If it lasted and I was good, I would have probably just stayed doing that, if anything. You know what I mean? But for me, the end goal was obviously open up a place, my own place. And so because of the show and the reality show and all that, so if I ended up opening a place, one of my main things was to be in Chicago, which it kind of is like a double-edged sword because taxes, payroll, minimum wage, everything's way higher.
Mhm.
So then you deal with the city stuff. If you're in the suburbs, you kind of have more leeway to do stuff. You're in Chicago, it's all BS stuff that it's just not like in the
Pay the
suburbs. So
Chicago tax.
yeah, so it was, you know, it was like a double-edged sword to be honest with you. It was one of the best things I did, but it wasn't. And because I'm on the very outskirts of of Chicago, you don't get like the publicity like you do for being in the city, like a lot of these guys get, where they sweat. I'm like, my God, this place, dude, that place sucks. I've had the pizza. It's terrible. Like, stuff like, but they all sweat the same things. It's like the little clique, and they don't give the guys in the suburbs and like to me, I don't care. Like, it sucks, but like, I really don't care. Like, I do what I do. Like, some guys that do deserve it, they should get it. And I feel bad for them because they don't have the business that like I do or other people do, but they have business, but they don't have the same business to where it's like, that guy deserves that. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
worked his ass off. You do a story on him, do a freaking write up, but it's all about money and connections and stuff like that. So they don't understand where it goes from there. So it's a hard sell to old school people or guys that, they don't make a lot of money. Where there's guys that make some money and they're like spacones, like big shots, and then they'll spend any money to get any publicity because that's the only business that they'll get. You know what I'm saying? So those are my favorite
Trust me, I
guys
get it.
because, you know, but long story, and we'll get rid of that. So I end up going, seeing my boys, talking. I never had a better experience in my life than going to New York. I've never felt more love of being Italian and being a pizza maker in my entire life than going to New York. Not even kidding you.
Nice.
And just the camaraderie of like and meeting these guys and the experience, and dude, it was like talking to myself. Like, that's how it was. And there's no
That's dope.
blood. There's no like, yo, we're in dude, we're not competing. Like, we're gonna help each other. And you do you, I do me, you do awesome, I'm gonna do awesome. You know what I'm saying? and we can help each other and thrive off each other. It's competition, healthy competition.
That's brotherly
So
competition.
yeah, so did that. Well, I couldn't find a job. COVID fully goes into effect March. I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do? I'm freaking out. My buddy's still helping me. Not a, not a man. When you gonna pay me back? When you gonna? What do you need, man? What do you mean? I had $0 coming in. Zero. I live paycheck to paycheck. My friend, love him to death. I will never forget in my entire life. And he just helped me through this whole time. And I would die for this kid. And so all my boys. And I end up was making plate at his restaurant at his place. I was making like pizzas out of like, his these like little two-door convection ovens. Like I'm like making like stupid pizzas, like whatever, just messing around, whatever. So one day my wife goes out with her friends and they go to her and my mother-in-law go out to, I don't know, go drink or something like that, go out girls' night, whatever. I stay with the kids. I'm like, you know what, guys, let's and Alberto from Forza, my buddy, he was selling the spiral mixers at the time. So I'm like, dude, could I borrow that? I want to make dough with my kids. Actually, no, long story short, I started doing the content because I went ghost from everybody. I was doing social media every day at my dad's place. And
Yeah,
then I went ghost. Nobody knew what was going on. They didn't see me. They didn't hear from me. I wouldn't answer any questions. I wouldn't tell them what was going because at the end of the day, I'm not here to hurt my dad's business. I built it where it's at. They can do whatever they want from it. I was there to amplify it, but I just had to do what I had to do for my family and my kids and my wife.
I understand you.
And and
Yeah,
so, I grew it to what it was, my brother and I, and it was time for me to just move on and do my thing. And it was the hardest decision in my entire life, but it had to be done. And I end up I end up using like a stupid regular like Cuisinart mixer and the dough. I was like, oh, this dough sucks, like whatever. But we made pizzas. I hadn't made pizzas in months. And so I made pizzas with my kids. And then my buddy, he was selling. I'm like, dude, can I borrow or buy one of the mixers? So he ends up lending it to me for months. And so I start making dough. So I'm like, you know what? I do a post. I'm like, Thick Thursdays are back in effect, baby. Nobody knows what's going on. So I'm like, I'm getting blown up. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Where we? I'm like, you got to pick it up. Secret location, this and that, blah, 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 blah. First Thursday, I sold like 12 pizzas. Okay. I'm like, think Slice Saturdays back in action. I did 4 pizzas, 4 different styles: cheese, sausage, pepperoni, and then like 2 specialties: tomato, basil, margarita, and then like a sweet heat, we call it. It was
yeah,
Ezo Pep, best pepperoni in the game, jalapeno, uh, banana peppers, and pineapple with Mike's Hot, best. And like
man.
that
That
combo,
shit
nobody
sound
was doing
good
that combo all day. So like I was doing skits with this stuff all the time. So I was doing it before at my dad's. And these were like big sellers. And then the Don, which was like my original pizza that I originally made, which was crumble sausage, Isopep, and Mike's Hot Honey. So that was like the OG, the Don. That's why I call it the Don. It was like the original gangster, like first pizza I ever made with the Detroit style. I'm like, let's try this. And people thought I owned Mike's Hot Honey in Chicago because nobody used it at that time.
because you was pumping it so hard.
Pumping it so hard. So it was crazy. But I'm like, no, it's my buddy in New York, this and that. I'm like, no, I wish it, dude, especially now, I wish I had a piece of that action shit.
Yeah, hell
Um,
yeah.
it was crazy. So I started selling the pizzas. First day I sold 12. Second day, that slice Saturday, I sold 15. I go to my wife. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I'm like, you got to get involved here. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, my social media is blowing up. I go, I can't keep up with it and writing everything down. I go, you gotta help me. And my wife used to help us at the pizza place, but like, like register, answering the phones, cooking a little bit, but not cutting a little bit of pizza, but not really. I'm like, you gotta help me. I'm like, this is crazy. So she ends up getting involved. This is Facebook, Instagram, text messages, email, because I already started Pizza Boy Chicago page. And that's what, like, I just did it because I wanted to be ahead of the game before this Pizza Boy was taken. Where I was like, and it's funny because Pizza Boy is like my pizza place is Pizza Boy Pizzeria, but it just turned into Pizza Boy Chicago because the handle from Instagram. even my Google, and I
It's
tried
what it
getting
had to
Google to
be.
change
Yeah.
it. Yeah, so it's just whatever. So we end up, and like I started the social media and stuff like that. So we end up doing everything with this. Dude, I'm buying pizza boxes and we're like doing, my wife's like doing like pizza boy, thank you with a heart and then an Italian flag. And we're drawing on all the boxes and all this stuff. Like it was greatest experience I've ever had in my life, to be honest with you. So I tell her, I go,
You cooking it?
that
Were you making them in the oven at the house in the home oven?
brother, home oven, could cook four at a time. Hold up. It gets better. So I tell my wife, I go, you got to get involved in this. This is crazy. I'm getting blown up now. So I go, we're going to add Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So it gave me time. It was a 7-day operation. I'm par baking doughs all week just
On
to get it
Mondays and
ready to
Wednesdays.
do. Yeah. So I'm going shopping, this and that. I'm like, dude, this is nuts. So I end up going there. We start doing it. I start the Tuesday. That Tuesday, going forward from April till September or August that year, I was selling, I was doing, I would sell out at fifth. I would tell people we literally sold out every single day. I was selling 50 pizzas every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, from March or April till August. It was insane,
Damn.
dude.
50
And
pizzas out of home oven. Like you were working harder at home than you were in the pizza shop.
bro, it was insane. I was staying up till like 2, 3 in the morning, par baking doughs all night because I could only cook four at a time. So I'm like, dude, this is insane. And so it ends up, and then my mother-in-law, she lives down the block. So I end up bringing the first like weekend, the next week, I brought my whole operation to her house in the basement because she had a full-blown kitchen in her basement that like nobody was using. So I'm like, she had a huge island. So it just worked out for me. So my house was small, like whatever. And so we end up doing it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I was selling out 50 a week. I had my buddy come in. He was still, so we were meeting people at like this location down the block. They'd pick up there. I'd have regulars every Thursday, every Tuesday, every Saturday, five pizzas. So what, every half hour from like 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., I had pickups at my house. So like, dude, we're having guys in the summertime, construction workers. Dude, what the hell's going on over here, man? You guys got drugs going on? What's up? Like, no, we just got
Pretty
pizzas. We're
much.
making pizzas here. So these guys are buying pizzas from me every week, like while they're working down the block doing construction, just stuff like that. It was like, it was just crazy. It's talk about starting at the bottom from a little kid to building my dad's to here, even though my dad already had a here, but I just super here and then coming way here, starting from over. Because to my dad, it was always never attainable to have. My dad just never wanted to open up another place, and My dad was always old school. He's like, we can never start from scratch. I'm like, why? It would just bother me all the time. I'm like, dude, we have our own brand of Bertolli's. I'm like, we can do it, and he just never thought. And I did it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did it. I lived what he said we couldn't, and I take pride in that. And when I did that at a house, and that was kind of like a misconception because people kept asking me when I was doing it at a house, can I get thin crust? Can I get thin crust? I'm like, listen, right now I can't do it. I was trying to do it, but I couldn't do it. I'm like, just give me time. I'm like, I kind of wanted to do it, but my wife's like, just keep it simple, stupid. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's just do this, whatever. So we end up doing that forever. And then I end up buying this one place that end up looking at with my father like 10, 15 years before that. And I called up a
Really?
guy who was like I called up a guy who was a head chef for the company. And they had like, I don't know, 5, 10 places. And I go, are they selling there? And he goes, no. But he goes, I'll ask them. So he calls them. He's like, they'll sell. I'm like, all right, they're opening. They're fully operating. I just wanted this location. And it was down the block from my house. So I end up buying this place. They ended, and I was planning on opening. I bought it in the end of July of 2020, And I was like, oh, I'll open up by November. And then I'm like, I'm going through everything. I'm like, we had to fix it up a little bit. I'm like, you know what? And then COVID, so you couldn't get product, you couldn't get material, you couldn't get the ovens, you couldn't get this, you couldn't get that. And long story short, to that was, it prolonged it, and I ended up opening up February 1st, 21. So 2121. That number holds a huge thing in my heart now, 21. And so we open
21,
up,
21.
yeah. So, and we end
That's
up
my favorite number,
opening,
by the way.
well, see, it was meant to
No
be,
bullshit. It's
brother.
like I got it tattooed on me.
Really?
No
See?
bullshit. Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
just my number. Yeah,
God
that's
bless.
wild.
Yeah. So, and I thought it was going to open up. Like I thought it was going to open up at the first of the year. I'm like, dude, we're right there. And then, things and then this, and you couldn't get people to come and inspect and check. So it just, we end up opening up February 1st, 21. And honestly, the rest was history. I was slammed from day one. Day one. I sold out of,
Really?
so and I had a guy for 2 weeks training with me for 2 weeks. The day before we open up, he was supposed to come and train, and we were fully supposed to go like get ready for February 1st, 21. It was the first Monday I opened up, and I never opened up a Monday after that. So I opened up on a Monday. That Sunday we had to prep everything, get everything ready to open, and I had a full menu done. Like I had my full menu open, printed, everything, appetizers, everything. We were gonna do gluten free, all this stuff. I end up opening up with strictly two things: pizza and wings. We were so insane from day one. It was insane. Now, mind you, I've never been defeated in this business ever in my entire life because Chicago pizza, thin crust, not this tavern style bullshit. Thin crust pizza is Chicago pizza. That's it. Not deep dish. That's tourist shit. Tavern, Instagram, social media shit. Chicago people call it thin crust. So my main pizza is thin crust. I just got really well known for Detroit style, and all my New York style blows New York style out of the water. I'm sorry, New York guys. I love you, but my shit blows
Oh,
your
there's a
style.
challenge.
You could come. I have New Yorkers that come to me. They go, "This is the best New York I've ever had." I'm not even kidding you, and they're from New York. So it's just crazy. But long story short, with that, and I say it a lot, but we end up opening. I sold out of 80 Detroits in hours. 80. I would sell, when I left my dad's, we'd sell maybe
Jeez.
five, this and that. I wasn't used to that. Luckily, I had at that time, I had like maybe 15, 20 pans because of what we were doing at on my house. So I would redo them. So
So
like
you could
after I
keep
was
up.
done with one, I'm washing it to keep going. So it was like crazy. So I ended up having to order way more pans. So that Monday, dude, I'd sell out of Detroit every single day. That first Friday, right before Super Bowl, and back to what, so that guy decided, that guy that was training me for 2 weeks didn't show up to Sunday. So it was then this other guy that I ended up hiring that day to help me. We opened up the next day, gung ho, full blown, full throttle, whatever. That Friday, we opened up, and I had I have a full staff, bunch of kids, whatever this. I've never, when I tell you, I've never been defeated in my entire life. Alberto, my boy, he ended up, I'm like, dude, can you come help me? He ended up coming to help me. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, like Chicago pizza, you literally can make dough and tweak it to where you could kind of make it same day and use it. It's still phenomenal
Yeah.
because, everyone's all about the science of it. And there is a science to it, but you either got it or you don't. That's my opinion. I don't care what anyone says. You either got it or you don't. You could tweak things to make things happen. And so if you're in a pinch, these
Throw
guys,
trays
oh,
on
yeah,
top
I
of the
sold
oven.
out. Yeah. Dude, oh, hey, we're sold out. Dude, I ain't never selling out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll figure out a way. You have to eat my food. You want it? I'm making it. So that first Friday, I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you. I had probably 20 dough trays. of just thin crust dough. I had 100 Detroits. Dude, I sold out of everything. I couldn't even make more dough because I could not get to the dough mixer. We were so crazy that I had to close within 3 hours. And we open at 3. I closed by 6. I probably closed before 6. I call him my cousin, who was my investor at the time. I'm like, and even Alberto, he was there. I'm like, bro, we don't even have the rest of the food here. We're just doing pizza and wings. What the fuck am I gonna do? This is insane. And then I'm like, should I buy another oven? I didn't know what to do. Like, I never felt that. Like, it was a blessing in disguise, but it was like, bro, I was blessed, but like, I did not expect it. I said to my
I
wife,
would
I'm
say
like,
it's a good problem, but scary as hell.
scary. Like, is this where we're going? I got to hire more people. Like, we can't. This is crazy. We have people waiting 2 hours for pickups, 2 hours for deliveries. Dude, we're talking about 6 feet apart. Okay. This is the middle of COVID. Dude, I had people like this in my front whole area. My whole dining room was jam packed, everything. It was line out the door. It was crazy. So, and then the next day, I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm scared. I go in, and at this time, I was going because Detroit style takes a long time to kind of prep. I don't know if you make it, whatever. So we are doing. So it takes a lot longer to proof and do and this and that. It's not like quick, easy. It's, you know, so we end up prepping it. I would get there at like 6 a.m. So, and we were opening up at 3. So I'm getting there at 6, making the dough, prepping it all day, getting it done, ready to go by 8, by 3. So I'm like scared for Saturday. We handle it. It was great. It was freaking insane again. And then next days, so that Friday night, my wife and I end up doing a video. We're like, hey, unfortunately we closed, but we appreciate you. We love you. This and that. I just gotta find that video. I gotta see it. It's funny. And you have to get your pre-orders in. I never did pre-orders my entire life in my father's place for Thanksgiving or for Super
For
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Even now, like even before COVID, I don't think anybody ever did pre-orders. Now everyone does pre-orders, which it is
Not
better,
not
but
yeah,
everybody
yeah, we
does
would get
that.
them like that day of, but
Yeah,
now
dude, you would get
everybody's
it in the
pre-ordering.
morning.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
order at
Let me
5.
get everybody want
Okay,
their shit at 6 o'clock. Yeah,
yeah, dude. Like
exactly.
after 7 o'clock and it's halftime, you're freaking dead. Like might as well close. Like that's why people don't
You already
understand
know.
Halloween to Super Bowl. Halloween blows Super Bowl. I mean, it doesn't blow it out the water, but it's just a totally different chaos. Halloween's open to
Hmm.
close. Super Bowl's 2 hours and then it's done.
Five,
So
five to
it's
seven, and then it's
yeah,
over.
yeah. So that day I'm like, you know what? Let's we'll do the pre-orders, we'll do the thing. We did it. All pre-orders, pizza, wings, this and that. I told my girl, I have my main guy that was there at the time. He ends up not showing up. I'm like, oh, this is great. So it's just me. And then all my wife and my boy that was helping me, and then all my young kids that were working. So I ended up having like all my phone girls and wait, like the front desk girls. They end up, I have them saucing and tossing wings like a pass line. And this is how crazy it was. And then once halftime hit, then we were taking regular orders. I wouldn't take any orders because it was just me. And we still killed it. And it literally was just me. It was insane. Nobody even knows that. But yeah, it was crazy.
First week Super Bowl, two guys quit,
No,
but you
he didn't
still
quit.
show up and
He
get it
worked
done.
up, he ended up doing the same shit for like 2 years. And then I finally got rid of him but really good employee, but sad because he's a junkie and can't help stop with the booze. But it is what it is. So it sucks because he could have dominated a long life with me. And but it is what it is. So my main guy with me now is freaking godsend, and I love him to death. He's like a brother I never had, or I do have, but like he just my right hand man. I mean, it's like anything I need, he gets it done. Anything he needs, we get it done for him. We love him to death. He's the greatest thing I've ever had working with me. And it was just like, hey, can we do this? Done. No questions asked. When I worked for my dad, You
He
guys want
gonna
to
get
do
it done.
this? I don't want to do it. We're not doing it. Okay. I'll figure it out then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like when people tell me no, in the sense of like business. Like, I didn't build it off of that. Like, I have a buddy of mine, funny story, real quick, that Super Bowl and another several times after. He goes to me, he texts me on that Super Bowl and he owns a business and he's like, "Can I get pizza?" I'm like, "Yeah." And this is in between Super Bowl. And I end up making him pizza. He opened up a restaurant and I asked him for a reservation for my wife's birthday. And I did this with him many times. Like he texted me, it got it done, no problem. And I was in the midst of chaos for months. For like 2 months, I'd sell out of pizza every day. And out of Detroit style. But like I said, my main pizza is thin crust. So, and I'll never forget when he opened up and he said to me, I asked him, "Hey, could I get a reservation? We're going out for my wife's birthday. There's like 20 of us." And I'm like, "Listen, I don't even care if it's the last reservation. Like, we'll come there. We'll be your last people, even after." He's like, "We only doing two tops." He's like, "I'm fully booked till for months." I go, "Bro, I'll be your last reservation." "No, I can't do it." I said, "Okay, fuck you." But, when
Yeah,
you help these
that's
people
how
and people don't, you know how it is. So my wife
you
gets
give them
mad at me all the
opportunity to
time.
show you who they really are.
For sure. And then and he owes me $1,000 now, still to this day, because we were doing his flatbreads as his restaurant. I kind of let him go. I was doing flatbreads for his restaurant, and he's just ghost. Won't. But you know what? Money's worth it. You owe everyone money, so sad thing. But
That was
you
a
lose
that's a cheap way out of a bad relationship. You know what I mean? Fuck the
100%. And you know what?
thousand, go live
People
your life.
support these people because they don't know who they are, and they're shysters. And they do that kind of
Yeah,
business. I don't
okay.
do that kind of business, and that's where, like I say, good business is good business, and it'll always hold true. You do people wrong, they'll never forget it. They might not be mad at you, but they'll never forget it. And that's why I have the business I have because I don't do people wrong, and that's why you do what you do, and you have the podcast now thriving and everything else, and you're gonna find a place, and boom, right to the top because they believe in you. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
So
Well, you gonna have to. I'm
it's
gonna have to get in the group chat.
let's go. We actually don't even do that chat
Put
anymore, but we'll start a new one. Let's go, baby. So yeah,
put me in the group chat, man.
yeah.
What's next for Pizza Boy? What you gonna do now?
You know what? We're just grinding. Honestly, this cannoli boy is fully booked. In
Yeah,
between all this for 3 years. We didn't even talk about that, but I've in 5 years. This February would be 5 years. I've never had a stagnant or loss. So I've grown every single year. I've been open. And it's been a blessing.
congratulations.
And thank you. And I've always from day one, I've always wanted, before I even opened, I was planning on buying a food truck. I ended up tearing my bicep like a year and a half ago, and I couldn't work, and I had the surgery, and like, dude, I don't miss. So like, I ended up I didn't work for 5 weeks, and couple weeks in, a kid was selling a food truck. I ended up taking it over. I bought it. And so we're doing the food truck. So I never made Neapolitan pizza in my life. Once again, I do it how I do it. And people freaking love it. And it's not like your typical Neapolitan, like soft, spongy, doughy pizza. It's got a crunch and it's like a hybrid to me. It's my own take on it. And people love it. I mean, I have people that come up to me
Yeah.
and they're like, dude, of like the 12 different styles you do, that's the best one. I'm like, I don't know if I should be happy or sad. Like, okay, what about my other pizza here? But
Hey,
it's awesome
it's nice when they can get what they want, though. You know what I
for
mean? You got
sure.
something,
Well,
a little bit of
once
something for
again, I
everybody.
how I do things, you can't get that Neapolitan at my restaurant, and I kind of hold that to a point of you know that exclusivity. So you want it, you got to book the truck. There's no way around it. If you see I'm doing a job, call me up. I'll bring you one. You come and meet me, whatever. But if I'm not doing an event and I'm not doing the job, I'm not on the truck, I do not make that pizza and I don't make it at my restaurant. So it's people love that too. It's like, it's that's what makes it that great. You know what I mean? So that's my story, man. And like you said, what's going on? You know, I'm kind of getting a little bit into the podcast. I started my own media company. I help my partner do that a little bit because I'm good at it. Actually like it. I love being creative and coming up with ideas for other businesses. So I became real close with these guys. I'm kind of helping them a little bit on their podcast, doing some stuff with them with the two Sunats, and they're
I
killing
love that
it.
show, and they're
Yeah,
this shit's
dude, it's
blowing on YouTube,
bro, it's and they,
blowing on YouTube. I
dude, it's
love it.
crazy. So it's awesome, and you get to meet real people, and you get to. We just interviewed Drew's. It's his like the two, him and Paulo. I went into Drew's seat, and I interviewed Drew with Paulo, and so we did the whole thing with that, and so it was cool. Like we're swapping places, and we're really trying to take the media company to a whole nother extreme. So if you or anybody else needs help with social media, let us know. M3 Media, dude, we'll help you do everything, marketing, branding, everything. So that's
Yeah,
been keeping me busy. Um, with my partner, he's been killing it. I mean, the growth on him has been astronomical. His videos, his content, and that was like the goal for me. And it's funny because people they come up to me and they're like, "Oh man, your media, this and that." And I think to myself, like, I don't even, but then I forget like Cannoli Boy. And I'm like, I don't even post on the pizza place. And then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, all the Cannoli Boy stuff. I'm like, they're like, man, you're all over the place, this and that. I'm like, oh yeah, because it's not Pizza Boy because I'm Pizza Boy, but now I'm Cannoli Boy. So it's like crazy.
yeah.
So I got another thing that we're working on that's gonna probably make a big splash that people aren't ready for. And it's gonna be huge. And it's with a buddy of mine. And that's going to be big time. It's when we blow that up, it's going to be big, and it's going to be done how I do things. So we're going to punch people in the mouth with this. So it's another business, food. It's going to be awesome. So
I can't
that
wait
should
to
be
see it.
next year. And just keep going with the Pizza Boy stuff and the Cannoli Boy, and my baby's my baby. I'd love to open up another place. My son, I couldn't be more proud of him. He's 14. This kid, he's not. I was a sports guy. My wife was a sports girl. Like we were dogs. My wife's got her jersey retired for basketball. She now teaches or coaches my daughters in basketball, and they're animals. And so my son really wasn't the sports kid, but he loves making money and he loves working. So he's come on board. And dude, he's 14 and he loves it. He's been killing it. He makes me proud because, we're one thing that my dad kind of would yell and scream and this and that. And listen, like I said, I'll never take anything from my father and saying he was this or that. I love my dad. But at the end of the day, we need to be as if you didn't like something, it's inevitable for my friend of mine told me one time, he goes, it's inevitable for you not to become like your parents, but you got to do everything in your power to change that, right? So my dad did things and he was successful for the way he did it and built it and this and that. And I'm successful for the way that I built it and did it, how I did his and myself. But I want to change that. I want it to where my son wants to be there, wants to grow. And I tell him all the time, I go, Bud, you don't realize, like, I'm younger. Like, my dad was older when he started. So, like, even though he wasn't. But, like, I'm like, you know, like I tell people, I'm an old school place with a new school feel. So I know how to adjust to the new school, right? Like I'm not like an old guy that's like,
Yeah,
I'm 40, 41, technically like doing social media, but we grew up in the social media. So we got the best worlds of no social media and social media. So like MySpace and all that stuff. And now you got
yeah,
this to where like you're doing you're doing social media and I told my son, I'm like, dude, I'll push you to wherever you want to go. Like my dad wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I can adjust. Like, tell me what is going on with the younger kids? What are we doing? Let's do it. Like, I'll make
yeah.
it
Learn
happen if
learn
you
from these kids.
yeah. So, and I tell my son, I'm like, run with it, man, because you're as hard as you work. That's how successful you're going to become. And I try to make it more fun for
Yeah,
him, where it's not like, where I wanted to hang with my friends, and that's like my son will come and he'll come in during the rush. He'll come with my wife on the weekends, and he'll come for the rush, and I let him leave at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. He's been staying a little bit later lately because just helping and learning a little bit more, but by 9 o'clock, he's home. 8 o'clock, he's home. and like he could still go with his friends. Where I didn't have that. I was there till 10, 11, 12 o'clock. So if I went home,
You ain't
I'm going
going.
home. Yeah. So, those little things make it more enjoyable, right? You make money, you know, you do a little bit. I show them a little bit. Here you go. To these kids, it's like gold. You live it, you love it. I'm proud of him so much. Like he's changed so much in the last couple months, and it's made me so proud to see it because you it's like a wife, right? If you feel like your wife or like your brother that was your partner, like you feel
Hmm.
unstoppable. You could take on anything.
Yeah,
And now I feel like I could take on even more having my son, my cousin, my crew that I have, my employees, like I feel like we could do a lot more. So I'm pushing, but steadily. You know what I'm saying? So how about you? What's up with you? What do we got going on? Just trying to find a place?
trying to find a place, but continuing to push the pod, man, taking it to new heights. It's
For sure.
been, we had a hell of a year this year. 25 has been like shit, nothing but up for the
Yep.
podcast.
God
And I
bless.
didn't know where that was gonna go. Like, no bullshit. I almost quit doing it so many times because, like,
Hmm.
you put out an episode, nobody watched, like
Yeah,
whatever.
for
But
sure.
the numbers didn't matter because every time I stopped or tried to, somebody hit me up like, man, I needed to hear that. Or I'm
Yeah,
glad
for
that you
sure.
talked to, Carlo, or whatever. I need to hear that story. So
Dude,
there's
I
so much
get that
shit
all
that
the
happens
time.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I
So
not to
like
cut you
I'm so
off.
proud of that.
Dude, you should be. That's all. You know what? At the end of the day, what like even with our staff, right? You're here to help them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
what we're here. It's not about dude, I could give two shits about money. I do it as like competition, the conquering of like every day, being busier, like helping kids, helping them like when you leave me working with me, I want you to be that man that's like here. Like like I told kids that work for me,
Exactly.
when you play sports, I get you can't work here. I get you're not me. But like when you play sports and I've had guys that work for me that have become millionaires after they work for me because they learn those that guys that were older than me when I used to work by my dad, they become millionaires. Like guys that work for my dad
That's right.
that became millionaires that like I was still close with because I work with them. And so like at the end of the day, those little things that these kids learn in that business goes such a long way that turn you into such a savage animal because it's the little details that matter that people don't understand that. And that's
All the
why I tell
time.
people all the time, these young kids need to be in this environment because they're learning so much and they appreciate a dollar. They
Yeah, man.
appreciate the hard
And
work.
and just being Yeah, being the type of person that can see that and pour into people and give some game,
For
teach
sure.
somebody something. That's all I'm about, man.
And when
And
you're
then whatever
posting,
comes from that.
yeah, like when you're posting, you don't see the results all the time, but dude, you do it every day. People thrive off of that. I did this podcast with these guys. I didn't think about it. I have guys literally telling me, "Man, you were spending so much game on there." And like I'm not like a preacher, but like I like to, my life experiences, things my dad taught me. I've lived a life. I've done a lot of things. I like to put that on other people to understand and see because at the end of the day, if you could help someone learn at a younger age, what better feeling is than that? You know what I'm saying? And you
It's the
bringing that
best
out
way
to
to pay it
people
forward.
for sure. And like for you bring it out and you post it and you bring that out to people and you bring in guys like myself on. We all have a story. We all have a story. And you have a story. Everyone's got a story. If you don't have a story, go make a story, right? Take a loss, learn from it, get yelled at, lose something, lose a girl, find another girl, have a heartbreak. That's where you learn everything, man. And that's where like your stuff will go such a long way for so many people because now so many, not, it's just not your area. You got a whole world to bring that out to. So you should be proud of yourself because
And that's
it's been all over. I
I'm
see it
so
all the
proud
time. I
of it,
love
bro.
it. Should be
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So just continuing to build on that, man, and just be me, man. Keep doing the best that I can do with who I am. So
for sure.
it ain't crazy, man. We've been doing, the magazine. Like now we're writing a column for PMQ, and we got all
Beautiful.
these things popping. So like whatever I can do to help push pizza forward and push pizza makers forward, whether they be making pies at home or they got a
Hmm.
shop or they're trying to get a shop, like, or if you've been doing it for 20 years and you never wanted to do social, like whatever, wherever you are, man, if I could help somebody get to the next step, I'm here for it. So,
100%.
that's what I'm
And
about.
and that's what people don't like quite understand a lot about business and like just like old school guys, right? They don't understand people like back in the day, especially like around here. Everyone wanted a kind of, you know, they would go into trash cans to see what kind of sauce you're using and this and that and blah 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 blah. Where
Yeah, people used to peel the labels
people
off
want
the
to help.
cans because you don't want nobody to know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So, and like you bring that out in people, and you could bring that in, and like with what's it called with these old guys, you put them on, they're like pigs in shit. Like when you put them on these things, because they're like to them, it's like I get to tell my story finally, and all these people, and then when all these people from the neighborhood that are lifelong Bertolli's or all these old school restaurants that have been in business forever and they get finally their time to shine of social media, they like love it. And it's like that's such
yeah,
an amazing feeling to see. It's an amazing feeling for young guys too, but to see it for the old guys, it's cool.
absolutely. I love the older guys too, because I mean, even I've talked to so many people like, man, it's the first time I ever did a podcast. Like,
Hmm.
come on, bro.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Like,
that's sure.
you know what I mean?
They're scared.
Let's tell your story. Let's put your shit out there. So
It's funny, like
it
even when
wasn't
we
easy
did
for me
the
in the beginning.
Mhm. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, no, go.
No, I'm saying like talking to folks, and it wasn't easy for me in the beginning either, but now it's just so much fun just to get to know folks, and this has become my chance to get face to face.
For
We meet
sure.
on social, we text and we do all that, but this shit means the world to me right
Dude,
here, because this
it's
is where
free
we get to
school.
connect.
Free school.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
teaching this is old school. Like this is kind of like the old school dogs that used to teach us the old school tricks. This is like
Hmm.
the new school style to it. You know what I mean? And where you can
Yeah,
teach that where dude, that's awesome, man. It's great. And for you to because like with social media and content and stuff like that, right? You tell people, "Hey, man, we're gonna film you. We're gonna do this and that." They're so scared, and it's like, just be you. Talk to me like you're talking to me.
yeah.
Like here, like it's easy. We never talked before through messaging and stuff like that. But excuse me, but it's like you know somebody for years, and then when you talk on here, it's just talking one on one. Like if you're sitting right across the table
Yeah.
from someone having a drink, like that's
I love that.
where they think, oh, there's a camera or somebody recording it. It's such a big deal. It ain't. It's easy. It's just letting loose and being who you are. That's what makes everything great. So
Yeah, I
you got to
like
keep
that. And I
going,
love
bro.
when people come on nervous and then we talk and then they're cool.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, let's, more of that. So that's it for me, man. More of this, more pizza. Still,
for sure.
I
Well,
call
if you ever
myself
need
Pizza
any help,
King,
let me know.
and we gonna live
I'll
that shit.
come in. Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah, man. When I come to Chicago for the NRA show, I'm coming to see you.
Okay, yeah, I'm right.
So
Listen, we're
just be
right
ready
by
for that.
O'Hare. I'm 10 minutes away from O'Hare, so it's awesome because like that's where like with the reality show, like people they come in just to see us and then they go right back on the air to the airport because we're 5 minutes away. Like people don't understand
Yeah.
that. We're so like when they come in, like or they'll come to Chicago, they'll visit the city, do all this stuff, and then they'll stop on the way back on going to the airport. It's crazy. I've had all 50 states and like 5 different countries come to my business just from the reality show.
Hell yeah, man. We're coming.
Yeah.
I keep telling my kids haven't been. I love Chicago. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
cities.
It's
So
not the same,
we
but sad.
we're coming on bring the family, and we're gonna experience all of this. And I love
Let's
supporting
go.
the
I'd
people
love
that
to
I get
have you
to know,
guys
because that's how we do it.
for sure.
But thanks again, bro. Appreciate it. And you enjoy. I know Monday's an off day, but it looks like you already in the shop doing something.
No, I'm at home. I got my
You at
wife's
home?
all her decoration stuff
Oh,
doing
okay.
her.
You at the
She's
crib?
nuts. Yeah. Yeah. I was
Well,
actually at the gym and then I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to do the podcast. So I came back home. I was going to do it at the gym. I'm like, we get a little better setting. So, but yeah,
I appreciate you taking the time, man, giving us
well, I
some game,
appreciate you
and
having me
just
there.
and just
Thank you.
telling your story.
Thank you.
We'll keep in contact.
Let's go,
Be safe
baby.
out there.